All right, here we go. It is Thursday, July 24th, 2025. I'm Joe Nelson with your Bring Me the Sports Minnesota Top 10. Let's start number 10. The 3M Open has started, and Adam Spenson at TPC Twin Cities in Blaine has gone absolutely bonkers with an 11 under 60 in his opening round. He buried a 48-foot eagle putt on the 18th to smash the course record. That was previously held by Scott Piercy's 62 back in 2019. Spenson, just look at the scorecard. He shot a 30 on the front, birdie, par, par, birdie, par, birdie, birdie, par, birdie. That's more birdies than I have all summer or last summer combined. And then on the back, he shot another 30 going birdie, 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 par, 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 birdie, par, eagle. And that 18th hole at TPC Twin Cities gives the golfers a lot of trouble. Big water to clear to get there in two. Just ask Phil Mickelson from years of the past. Adam Spenson, by the way, 234th in the official World Golf Ranking, and he had missed 11 of 20 cuts in 2025 so far. I think he's going to be just fine here in the Twin Cities this week. Notable scores so far today: Ricky Fowler 6 under, Max Homa 5 under, Tony Finau 2 under, as well as Wyndham Clark right there at 2 under par. Sunday M went even. Fargo's Tom Hoagie 3 over par, and ex-gopher Eric Van Rooyen at 4 over par. Number 9, let's go to Jordan Addison as we talk about his situation with the legal troubles. He is prepared, he says, for the NFL's decision on a potential suspension.
Right. Everything, is out of my control right now. So whatever the league got for me, I'll be prepared with whatever decision they make.
What made you decide to do that instead of just kind of go through the court process to do a plea?
Yeah, right. Just to get it all behind me, and just get on with the season.
Addison reached a plea deal from the 2024 DUI arrest in Los Angeles. The question now is if the NFL will suspend him. Typically, players who break the law and alcohol is involved, they get a 3-game suspension without pay. Very good chance that happens for the first 3 games of the season, but if he's lucky, his sentence or punishment, if you will be reduced to 2 games or maybe even 1 game. Let's go to number 8 on the list today. We are talking WNBA, and the Minnesota Lynx are as dominant as they come. In case you missed it, they rocked the sky 91-68 on Tuesday, but the sneaky takeaway from the game is all about Angel Reese. She had a career worst 9 turnovers. 9, almost a triple-double because she had 11 points and 11 rebounds. Minnesota forced 23 turnovers in the game. That's a season high for Minnesota. They also had 8 blocks, 4 of them to MVP frontrunner Napheesa Collier. Minnesota leads the WNBA with a 21-4 record. Let's find out now about the Vikings and how much they're going to play. Number 7 on the list, J.J. McCarthy. Specifically, how much is he going to play in the preseason? Really, it doesn't sound like a whole lot. In fact, he might not play at all outside of the first preseason game coming up against Houston. Quote, he might not get as much time to play as much as he did in that Raiders game last year, end quote. General Manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah told KFAN's Paul Allen this week. Quote, he picks it back up saying, I think he'll play in that first game, end quote. He'll get joint practices against the Patriots ahead of the second preseason game, and then it will be full steam ahead into the preseason finale in week number 3, and then the regular season opener in the first 10 days of September. And that will, of course, be on Monday Night Football against the Chicago Bears. Number 6 on the list, and we go back to the very odd situation involving, what's his name? Oh, yeah, that's Colin Coward. He has a strange obsession with J.J. McCarthy. What's this all about? He's been doing it for months. Is it a Michigan thing? I don't really know, but honestly, it makes no sense because yesterday on his podcast, he said, quote, J.J. McCarthy, you're going to see it very quickly, is not what people think. J.J. McCarthy is a C quarterback. You ever seen J.J. McCarthy's fourth quarter college stats and playing from behind fourth quarter stats in college with Michigan and Harbaugh and that O-line? They're terrible, end quote. Well, guess what, Colin? We checked the stats, and in the 2 games that required clutch play in the fourth quarter during Michigan's undefeated season in 2023, here are the results. Fourth quarter against Ohio State, 5 of 5 passing on 2 drives that both ended in points, field goals. And then in the fourth quarter against Alabama in the national semifinals, he was 5 of 9 for 87 yards and a touchdown. The Alabama game is really interesting because McCarthy hit on a pass for 27 yards to convert a fourth down. He added completions for 20 and 29 yards, and he mixed in a 16-yard run while also finding Roman Wilson for a 4-yard touchdown to tie the game with 1:34 left in regulation. Number 5 on the list, we go to the Timberwolves, and we're talking about Michael Grady and his role as the announcer. It now looks like his role will be even more limited now that he's been revealed as one of the featured announcers for NBC and Peacock. That's in addition to his role as a national voice for NBA and WNBA games carried by Amazon this coming season. What we do know is that Amazon will stream 66 games per season, including the opening week doubleheader, a Black Friday game, and all games from the knockout stage of the NBA Cup. It'll also have the streaming rights to NBA play-in tournament games. That's also on top of 14 to 26 games in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. So you can count Grady out for some of those. But also, NBC and Peacock, they're going to be handling 100 games during the regular season, including up to 5 per week all the way through the playoffs. NBC is going to have a national game, probably a couple just like TNT had on Tuesday nights. And then they'll also have Sunday night basketball once the NFL's Sunday night football season concludes. Peacock will also stream national games of the week on Monday nights starting in late October. So Monday nights, Tuesday nights, Sunday nights, and more are all on the table to get Grady off of FanDuel Sports Network with the Timberwolves. The backup announcer, who's it going to be? The in-house candidates are Marty Gellner and Alan Horton, the radio guy, but nobody knows for sure just yet. Number 4 on the list, let's talk Vikings and their alternate jerseys. They have revealed when they will be wearing them next season. Look at this. This is pretty cool. The Winter Warrior jerseys, they're going to bring those out, as well as the Viking Classic throwbacks. They're going to break those out twice. The Classics will be worn in primetime games. The first one will be week 2 when maybe Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix Jr., who knows, will come to U.S. Bank Stadium with the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday Night Football. That'll be the game that Jared Allen will be honored at halftime. He's going into the Hall of Fame on August 2nd. And then the Classics will be worn a second time in Week 18, the regular season finale, at home against the Green Bay Packers. There is no set date or kickoff time for that game just yet. And then the all-whites, the Winter Warrior uniforms that include the white helmets, I believe, they'll be worn for the second time ever. That'll be the Christmas Day game against the Lions in Week 17. That'll be televised nationally on Netflix. They beat the Bears in those uniforms last year in week number 15. This is a fun one. Coy Parrish, star sophomore safety of the Golden Gophers. He was on Big Ten Network for Big Ten Media Days on Wednesday, and there was some fun love for a Minnesota small town. We're talking about Esco, Minnesota, which is where he's from. BTN's Dave Revson asked Parrish what he should do if he ever finds himself in Esco for a few days, and Parrish responded, quote, "Not much. We've got one stoplight. Go stop at the school. We've got a field. We've got a tequila town now, is what I think it's called. It's our shop. It's a Mexican place. I've never been there. It's newer." Yeah, Tequila Town is a Mexican restaurant in Esco, Minnesota, which is located not too far from Duluth, near Minnesota's North Shore on Lake Superior. Speaking of small towns, that brings me to a fun little bit where we rank the 5 best small towns for their athletes and who's come from those towns. This is top of dome stuff. I love it. Number 5, Litchfield, Minnesota. Why? Because John Carlson. He was a great 3-sport athlete in high school, playing football, basketball, and tennis. Led the basketball teams to multiple state championships at the Class 2A level, and then he played in the NFL for the Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. He was a tremendous athlete at Litchfield High School, about 80 miles west of the Twin Cities. Number 4 on the list, Atwater. Oh yeah, Atwater, which is only about 20 miles west of Litchfield in Kandiyohi County, is the home of Mike Kingery, former Major League Baseball player who was leading the National League in hitting with the Rockies during the 1994 strike-shortened season. He once hit a grand slam off of Pedro Martinez, and he told me once that Randy Johnson, who was his teammate in Seattle, was the toughest player he has ever faced. Number 3 on the list, New Ulm. Give it up. Great baseball town. Terry Steinbach, the former Twins and Athletics catcher, pretty good hitter as well, is from New Ulm. Number 2, this is debatable because it's a bit of a tie. We're going to tie Roseau and War Road. Brock Nelson, TJ Oshie, all of the Marvin sisters, Dave Christian, they're all from that neck of the woods. And then in Roseau, you've got the Broughton family, including former North Stars great Neil Broughton. But number 1, this is where it's really elite. Up on the Iron Range, Hibbing, Minnesota, home to Kevin McHale, the NBA Hall of Famer. And then for hockey, they've produced some good ones, including the Micheletti brothers, Joe and Pat, who played for the Gophers, is on the mural at 3M Arena at Mariucci Arena. Number 2 on the list, let's go to the NBA, and we've got, I'm not going to butcher his name, I promise. It's not Joan Behringer, it's Yohan Berenji, the number 17 overall pick of the Timberwolves in the NBA draft. This is kind of sweet because ESPN's Jeremy Woo, he polled 20 anonymous NBA executives, and he asked them a bunch of questions about this year's rookie class and who is going to be the biggest steal of the draft. Number 1 was the 14th overall pick, Carter Bryant of the Spurs, with 5 votes, but with 4 votes coming in right behind him, as you can see, is Yohan Berenji, number 17 overall for the Timberwolves. And if you scroll down a little bit farther, you get this delicious quote that will make Wolves fans drool. Berenji could turn out to be a top 5 player in this draft. An Eastern Conference general manager said, upside is through the roof, and he doesn't even know how to play yet. He is also in a perfect situation where he can learn and grow from all of their bigs, end quote. Obviously, that anonymous Eastern Conference GM is referring to Rudy Gobert and Naz Reid playing in front of Berenji in Minnesota. Number 1 on the list, this one is coming out of nowhere and hot off the presses. Anthony Edwards is debuting on a rap album, and it's coming out at midnight. So Friday, here we go. It's Anthony Edwards, Pusha T, Wale. It's called Damage Control, produced by Don Cannon. This says, off the culture jam compilation album titled Legend in My Hood, and it's curated by Anthony Edwards and his brother, who goes by the hip-hop name Be Different. Check this out. That's phenomenal. And when you go to Anthony Edwards' Instagram page, you see on a story, here it goes, Damage Control, Freestyle, featuring Wale, Ant-Man, Say Less, Be Different, Fire, and Don Cannon, Gasoline. There we go. This is going to be pretty awesome as we look for Anthony Edwards to expand from basketball and the movies into the hip-hop rap category with his brother. All right, that's all we've got. That is your Thursday, July 24, 2025. Bring Me the Sports Minnesota Top 10. Join us again tomorrow. We'll be back with more. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. That helps us out a ton. And